Maybe no. I don't know. Should be this one. Yes, this one. Okay, let's start class. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, we cannot enlarge. Actually, today we will start with the questions. As you know, in my email, I write that for those who want to ask questions, so you can also ask through the email, right? Also, today also. So when you have a question, anytime, right? So just raise your hand, so you can ask question anytime. So in this way, so we can clarify, right, Abhidhamma, and also we can understand better. So I want to start with the question, very big one, very big question. When is Abhidhamma created? Is it during the first or second Buddhist concept? Essentially, two questions are connected, therefore, so I will answer together. So, when did the notion of Buddha taught Abhidhamma in Theravada started? Is it immediately after the creation of Abhidhamma or during Buddhaghosa period? Very big question. Also, it's good to know, right? So early in last week, I already said that Abhidhamma is rooted in Sutta Piṭaka, right? So Abhidhamma clarifying. Abhidhamma trying to clarify the Dhamma in Sutta Piṭaka, right? So that means the Buddha Abhidhamma texts are not taught by the Buddha, right? But the contents. Actually, even last week I give some references, right? So by seeing those references, we can understand that the word Abhidhamma is prevalent. The word Abhidhamma is used even at the time of the Buddha, right? So when the monks are discussing about the Dhamma, so it is called Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma means about the Dhamma. Now we are teaching and learning about the Dhamma. So this can be also called as a Abhidhamma, right? Abhidhamma. The most clear thing is in Vinaya Piṭaka. So normally the rules and regulations for the monks and nuns are called Vinaya, right? But in Mahavagga Pali and also Theravada Pali, these two texts mention that about the word Abhivinaya, right? So that means Vinaya means the rules and regulations formulated by the Buddha for monks and nuns, right? Abhivinaya means further definition of those rules and regulations. So if we look at those terms, so we can, we can make conclusion that, so the idea of Abhidhamma started at the time of the Buddha, right? At the time of the Buddha. And as you know, so we have learned 3 versions of Abhidhamma, right? So the Buddha taught Abhidhamma in Tawadinsa, that's the first one. And the Buddha came down at lunchtime, then taught to Venerable Sariputta, a very brief of the Abhidhamma, contents of Abhidhamma, right? So that is second version. And the third version is the Abhidhamma, Venerable Sariputta, he preached Abhidhamma to his 500 disciples. So that is third version, right? So that we have Abhidhamma Piṭaka that we have now is the Abhidhamma taught by Venerable Sariputta. So even that we can say that current 7 Abhidhamma texts are not taught by the Buddha, right? By Venerable Sariputta. Even the commentary confessed about that. So anyway, the way Bhikkhu Bodhi said in his book is very beautiful. And he said that the Buddha is just like a designer. A Venerable Sariputta is an engineer to build the houses, right? So the Buddha just gives a design, right? A general idea of the Dhamma. The Venerable Sariputta trying to elaborate, right? Those Dhammas in deity using different method. So for that reason, so many scholars said that we can find the traces of the history of Abhidhamma in Pali Canon as well. In Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 9, Sammadeti Sutta. Sammadeti means right view, right? Sammadeti means right view. Actually, in Magga-saññutta, so we have 4 noble truths, right? So the first one is Sammadeti. In Magga-saññutta, the Buddha defined what is Sammadeti. Sammadeti means knowing 4 noble truths, right? Knowing 4 noble truths. You really know about suffering, the original suffering, and cessation of suffering, and the path leading to cessation of suffering. So if you know those 4 noble truths, that will be right view, right? In some Magga-saññutta. But in Sammadeti Sutta, Venerable Sariputta defined right view, adding so many definitions. So the first one is, if you know the right things and wrong things, kusala and akusala. If you know good deed and bad deed, that is right view. So that cannot be found in Magga-saññutta, right? So Venerable Sariputta started, this is the first definition of right view. So if you know good things, so you have a right view. If you know bad things in a right way, so that is the right view, right? And second definition of right view, Sammadeti, is that the root of, you know the root of good things, kusala mula, and the root of bad things, akusala mula. That is lobha, dosa, moha, right? Lobha, dosa, moha. Second definition, right? Second definition. And like this, Venerable Sariputta defined right view, I think about 4 or 5 definitions. So at the end, he said that knowing dependent originations, also right view. Knowing Four Noble Truth, also right view. So like this, he gives so many definitions of right view, right? So therefore, we can call it even Sammaditthi Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 9, right? Sutta number 9 can be called Abhidhamma, right? Abhidhamma. So Venerable Sariputta define, right? Analyze the word Sammaditthi in details. Even Sammaditthi from Majjhima Nikaya, right? We can call it Abhidhamma. So in Majjhima Nikaya Sutta number 141, Saccā Vibhanga Sutta, analysis of Four Noble Truth, the truth. Actually, in that Sutta, the Buddha was staying in Varanasi, Isipatana, where the Buddha preached the first sermon, right? And at the time, the Buddha was talking to the monks. So monks, for one time, I was preaching the Four Noble Truths to the group of 5 monks, right? The Buddha was, how to say, recounting, right? Retold the monks that he preached the first sermon in that very place, right? And also the Buddha said that Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Moggallana are wise. They are wise, they are knowledgeable. And Venerable Sariputta is just like a mother who was born. And Venerable Moggallana is just like a nurse who look after. Because Venerable Sariputta, he preached the sermon in this way, the listener, the monks became Sotapanna. Then Venerable Moggallana trying to admonish them to become Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahant, right? Arahant. So Venerable Sariputta is just like a mother because he tried the monks to become Sotapanna. Becoming Sotapanna is very important. So if you become Sotapanna, you are destined to become other things, right? Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahant. So the Buddha praised Venerable Sariputta. And also he further said that Venerable Sariputta is able to teach Four Noble Truths. Actually, the Buddha didn't praise like this. Only Venerable Sariputta he praised. So just like me, Venerable Sariputta can preach Four Noble Truths. So there are so many discourses taught by Venerable Sariputta because he is praised by the Buddha and praised by the other monks as well, right? So for that reason, so many scholars make conclusion that so the authorship of Abhidhamma is started by Venerable Sariputta, right? Not by the Buddha. So just like that, the Buddha is just like a designer, right? He make design of a house, right? So Venerable Sariputta is just like an engineer. He built that house, right? Designer is very important, right? Without a good design, you cannot get a good house, right? So therefore, Venerable Sariputta is just like an engineer, right? So for that reason, but Theravada tradition maintain that so 7 Abhidhamma texts are the word of the Buddha. The commentary clearly said that. But in the story, so we can understand that the author of 7 Abhidhamma texts is Venerable Sariputta, right? And other schools, just like Theravada, So they clearly said that some of the Abhidhamma texts are written by or preached by Venerable Sariputta. They clearly stated that, but not Theravada, right? So we can say that Abhidhamma is started even at the time of the Buddha. Of course, later after that, after the Buddha passes away, and the Vinaya and Dhamma, Vinaya Piṭaka and Sutta Piṭaka are recorded in the Buddhist councils. But later on, the monks, they develop the philosophy of the Dhamma. They're trying to analyze, they're trying to define, right, the Dhamma that they have taught, that they have learned. So in this way, so Abhidhamma is developed. So we can call it is the gradual development of the Dhamma, right? So actually, according to Theravada tradition, after 100 years after Buddha passing away, the first Buddhist council was held, right, in Vesali. So by that time, there was a dispute regarding with Vinaya rules, right? So there are 10 Vinaya rules. Actually, even though Theravada recorded like this, Mahayana sources, they said that it's not about Vinaya rules. It is about the Dhamma or teachings. Some monks, especially what they call it Mahasiva, Arahant Mahasiva, and he put forward some other views. Just like Arahants, they have doubt. Like a doctrinal controversy arises, right? So for that reason, the second Buddhist council was arranged, right? So this is what Mahayana sources said. But according to Theravada tradition, second Buddhist council was held because of the Vinaya rules, right? The disputes about Vinaya rules. But at the third Buddhist council, it is the commentary of Theravada text, Pali text, clearly mentioned that it is because of the doctrinal views, right? Therefore, Kattavatu, second text of the Abhidhamma, right? Sorry, fifth, number 5, of the Abhidhamma text, 7 Abhidhamma texts, is written at the time. The name is Kattavatu. So the points of controversies. So there are 500 controversies, 1,000 controversies. So in that text, 100 disputes about the Dhamma is discussed. Actually, I have explained, right? Some of them. Just like we can feed hungry ghosts directly, like this, right? But Theravada tradition doesn't agree on that. But some of the monks, they put forward their idea like this, right? For that reason, Theravada monks, senior monks, have to answer, giving references from the Pali Canon, giving references from Sutta Piṭaka, right? Sutta Piṭaka. So therefore, at the third Buddhist council, it became 3 Piṭaka. So 3 Piṭaka was known at the time of third Buddhist council, right? 228 or something. 200 after 228 years or 26 or I forgot it. So after Buddha passing away, third Buddhist council was held. So in that third Buddhist council, so Abhidhamma Piṭaka was officially accepted, right? Officially accepted as a Pali text, right? Pali text. So that is the history of Abhidhamma. I hope you get the answer, right? Any question? Any question? Okay, so then we can continue. I also have one question from one of the students. And the question is, Bhante explained about ultimate realities. But today, of course, I will explain ultimate realities, right? So what is Abhidhamma? This is my view as well, right? So actually this is a summary of what is Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma is rooted in the Dhamma from Sutta Piṭaka. Abhidhamma trying to analyze the dhammas, trying to define the Dhamma. So Abhidhamma will define Citta, Cettasika, Rupa, Nibbana. 4 ultimate realities, right? 4 ultimate realities. Define the name and terms, right? And classify. So here, define me who is Sammasambuddha, who is Vichika Buddha, who is Sotapanna, right? So Abhidhamma will define. And classify the dhammas and explore their mutual relationship. How the mind and mental factors are related. How the mind and material phenomena are related, right? So Abhidhamma will define. So that is Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma further elucidates the important teachings of the Buddha from various perspectives and with the various methods. So as you know, Abhidhamma trying to further explain about 5 aggregate, 12 bases, and 22 elements like this. So it analyzed in detail. It is quite interesting that in Vibhanga text, second book of the Abhidhamma text, so they use Abhidhamma method and also Sutta method, 2 methods, right? Therefore, I use the line in the advertisement. Abhidhamma is stereo mind and its interaction with the body, material phenomena, its interaction with the material phenomena. Actually, it is nama rupa. Just talk about nama rupa, right? So people interest by reading this line, yeah? Stereo mind, right? So they want to know about mind, right? Of course, you will know about your mind. How Abhidhamma define the mind, right? So we can learn with the 2 chapters, and Citta and Cettasika. So if you complete two chapters, so you will understand what Abhidhamma define about the mind, right? And chapter 3, 4, 5 define more clarification, give more clarification about the mind. And chapter 6 will talk about the matter of body, material phenomena, right? Like this. It is a comprehensive and refined Buddhist psychology and philosophy. Of course, it is a psychology and also philosophy. Very refined. Knowing it will enable us to manage our mind easily. Of course, this is we have to practice. If you just know Abhidhamma, you cannot manage your mind. You will know how to manage, right? So you have to do it by yourself. Therefore, the Buddha always said that you have to do yourself. We call it DIY, right? Akkhadaro Tathagata. So the Buddhas are just show the way, right? A very famous one. So we have to practice. So to manage our mind, we have to practice ourselves. But if you know about your mind, so what Abhidhamma said, according to Abhidhamma said, so you will be easier to know your mind, right? If we take Abhidhamma supplement, our understanding about the Dhamma will be strengthened. Here, the Dhamma means Suttas. So if you know Abhidhamma, so your understanding about the Suttas are clearer. So the meaning in the Sutta will be clearer. So therefore, when I teach Abhidhamma, I use many Suttas, because Abhidhamma and Sutta cannot be separated, right? So if you know Abhidhamma, you understand Suttas very well, right? Easier to understand. So supplement, this is supplement, right? Okay. Textbook for this course. So we will use Abhidhammatthasaṅgaha. Abhidhammatthasaṅgaha. So we will use this text to learn about Abhidhamma. So we cannot learn 7 Abhidhamma texts, right? So if we learn, it's really boring. You know, it's so many repetition. Because it's just like a philosophy, right? It defines cetana or volition in many words, so many words. So what is cetana? What is volition? So Abhidhamma defines so many words. It's really boring. So many repetitions. So when we learn Abhidhamma, actual Abhidhamma text, so we have to use the condensed one. So we try to remove repetitive paragraph. So in this way, easier to understand. Easier to learn, right? So we are not studying 7 Abhidhamma texts. So we will use Abhidhammatthasaṅgaha as our textbook. So Abhidhammatthasaṅgaha means Abhidhammattha, teachings mentioned in 7 Abhidhamma texts. Saṅgaha means summary or companion or manual. So this text trying to summarize all the teachings mentioned in 7 Abhidhamma texts, right? Not only 4 ultimate realities, but also paññatti. Paññatti means concept. It is a concise summary of Abhidhamma with a clear picture of its main outlines. So I think if you learn this text, you will understand how condensed and how clear it is. The arrangement of the book is very, very nice, very perfect. It even goes beyond the scope of Abhidhamma texts. Go beyond the scope of 7 Abhidhamma texts, even though it is very small one. So it is a go beyond 7 Abhidhamma texts. So therefore, one of the very famous very famous scholar monks in Myanmar, Lady Sayadaw, said that if you learn this text, Abhidhammatthasaṅgaha, so you will know both Abhidhamma and Sutta Piṭaka. 2 Piṭaka, right? If you really know this text, you know the summary of all the teaching from Abhidhamma and Sutta Piṭaka, right? So therefore, this text is very important. So the author is from South India. South India. Kanchipur, nowadays, Kawedi. Actually, in previous time, it is known as Kanchipura. Kunchiparan, sorry. Nowadays, Kunchiparan in southern India. It is near the sea. So some scholars said that even Venerable Mahabuddha is from Kanchipura, southern India, right? So he is believed to live between 10 and 11th century AD. So there are so many, the views about when he was born. Some people say that 5th century AD. Some said 6, 7, 8. Actually, it's before 12th century AD. It is quite sure, before 12th century AD, because the definition or further definition of Abhidhammatthasaṅgaha is written 12th century AD. So he must have lived before that time. So there's so many controversy. Anyway, many scholars agree it must be between 10th and 11th century AD, right? So actually it is called commentary, Abhidhamma commentary. Normally the commentary define Pali canon, right? And give so many definitions, became very big. But this one is not like that. Very small one, trying to accommodate all the teachings, all the contents in this small text. So I forgot to bring this book. Very small one. It's smaller than this one. Very small one. Only 50 pages. 50 pages. Very small one, right? Therefore, it's very concise summary of the Abhidhamma. So we'll use this text. So Bhikkhu Bodhi said that the importance of this text. It is regarded as the indispensable key to unlock 7 Abhidhamma texts, to unlock the great treasure store of 7 Abhidhamma texts. So it's very important. So for those who want to learn 7 Abhidhamma texts, we have to learn this one. Therefore, in Myanmar, so we have to learn by heart and try to understand this text before we learn 7 Abhidhamma texts, right? So therefore, this is the key to go to 7 Abhidhamma texts. Very important. So if you know Abhidhammatthasaṅgaha, you know the contents of 7 Abhidhamma texts, right? So this one is translated by Shuizan All, the Burmese scholar, 1910. Because at the time, Mrs. Reed David from England, she is translating the first Abhidhamma text, Dhammasaṅgaha. So at the same time, she is trying to translate Abhidhammatthasaṅgaha at the same time, but she is not satisfied with her translation. So suddenly she received the hard copy of translation of this text. So this guy, he sent the copy to England to publish for publication. So therefore, she is very happy, and so she forgot about her translation and she published this one, right? So the first translation of Abhidhammatthasaṅgaha, right? Second one is translated by Narada Mahathera, as you know, she is very well known scholar monk, 1970. And this one, Bhikkhu Bodhi translated this one. Actually, he was edited, and also he adds explanation of each paragraph. So therefore, so this is a very, complete and also reliable book. So he wrote this one. This is a comprehensive manual of Abhidhamma, and he used previous translations, and also he trying to fix English translation terms, and he used a suitable terms. And while he was arranging this one, he discussed with the 2 famous Burmese scholar monks, U Sīlānanda, another one, Urewata. So they are living, one living in England, another one living in US. So discuss, and he got sent explanation or writing from them, and he combined all. So therefore, he said that generate errata. He used generate errata, right? He just edited this book. Anyway, he made a lot of effort to make this book happen, right? So we will use this book, translation of Bhikkhu Bodhi book. And the fourth one is translated by Rupa and Abhidhamma. I think he is from Sri Lanka, I think. Sorry, I do not know this guy. But Rupa is currently the chairman of Pali Society, the president of Pali Society. He is expert in Pali, in Sutta Piṭaka as well as Abhidhamma. He is now writing a book called Mapping the Mind. Mapping the Mind. A comparative study of Theravada Abhidhamma text and Saccā Abhidhamma text. So he's trying to compare these two texts. I think this will be very useful books to learn Abhidhamma. So actually, I don't have this one, this copy. So currently, we use translation of Bhikkhu Bodhi, right? These are English translation book. So actually, I recommend to read 3 books. Number 1, a comprehensive manual of Abhidhamma. And number 2, Handbook of Abhidhamma, written by U Sīlānanda. So we have 3 volumes. And number 3, Abhidhamma in daily life. Ashin Janaka, bhivammsa. Actually, the title of my course is Abhidhamma in daily life. Actually, I'm not taking from this book because we are running Buddhism in daily life course on Monday, every Monday. So I'm teaching in the Monday class as well. So by that time, when I teach, they encourage me to teach Abhidhamma. So I give the name Abhidhamma in daily life, right? So and that is good because we can learn Abhidhamma and we can apply Abhidhamma in our daily life, right? So this is the book written by U Sīlānanda. We have 3 volumes. So as I said, so the first one will be given maybe 4 weeks later. So this one only serious students, right? Only serious students will give to you. So I'm not sure. We don't have this one. So this one is. I am told that this is the best Abhidhamma book written in English. Somebody told me that, recommend me that. So this is the best Abhidhamma book translated in English. Very easy to understand. In Myanmar, actually the title of the Myanmar book is a Practical Abhidhamma. Practical Abhidhamma in Burmese. So actually this is meant for lay devotees, not for the monks and nuns. So therefore, scholar monks Ashin Janaka bhivammsa is very famous one in the 20th centuries. So he is the most famous monk who wrote so many books, and he write book for the monks and nuns as well as for lay devotees. And he used layman terms so to explain Abhidhamma. So the idea is to practice. So therefore, very clear. So for those who want to donate for printing, you can do so. It's a very good book, right? Very good book. Actually, we don't have this one. For those who want to donate, so you can print, right? Okay, these are. I will give you soft copy of these 3 books. Maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow night I will send a soft copy of these 3 books, right? So before you get actual books, you can read, right? You can read. Okay. Now we are going to learn 2 truths. In Sutta Piṭaka, so we have 4 noble truths, right? 4 noble truths. But Abhidhamma gives 2 truths, only 2 truths, right? So we're going to learn. So before we learn, so I want to introduce the origin of the 2 truths, right? The history of 2 truths. I think we should know it. So in this way, we can understand Abhidhamma better. Karunadasa, a very famous scholar from Sri Lanka, and he wrote Theravada Abhidhamma. So in his book, he said that in earlier texts, Sabbe Dhamma, Pali, Sabbe Dhamma means all things in general sense. So whereas the Abhidhamma use it in a technical sense to mean the basic factors into which all things can be resolved. The basic Abhidhamma defines the basic factor that can combine all. That is nothing but 4 ultimate realities, right? 4 ultimate realities. But in earlier text, me Sutta Piṭaka. In the Suttas, Sabbe Dhamma, here, the Dhamma means all things, right? Abhidhamma defined, Abhidhamma used as a technical term. Sabbe Dhamma anattati yatha panyaya pasati atha nibbendati dukkhe esamaggo visuddhiya. I think for those who are attending Maranasati all the time, you will know this one, right? So Maranasati, when somebody dies, we chant, right? Maranasati, the recollection of the death. So this is one of them. Sabbe Dhamma anattati. Actually, Karunadasa, Mr. Karunadasa, he referred this one. Sabbe Dhamma anattati. Yatha. Translation is all phenomena, all things are without self. All phenomena are without self. That's very important. If you really understand the first line, you become Sotapanna. Not from the book, not from the teachings. You really understand by yourself. If you really understand, become Sotapanna, right? Actually, many suttas, when somebody becomes Sotapanna, they mention a particular one line that talk about this one. All phenomena are without self. Actually, in suttas, it's not talking about self, it's talking about the nature of impermanence. Wherever has the nature of arising, it has the nature of cessation, the impermanent nature of a nature, right? You was born, arises, right? In this world, you will disappear, right? If you understand that nature, then you become Sotapanna. Everything. Your anger arises. It also has the nature of cessation, right? Your love arises. It also has the nature of cessation, right? If you understand that nature, the impermanent nature of everything, all the phenomena. Here, Dhamma means phenomena. Then you become Sotapanna. So the Sutta mentioned with the in the light of a nature, right? But wherever has impermanent nature is suffering. If it is suffering, it also without self, no self, anatta. So actually these three are connected each other. But here in this stanza, so the Buddha show with the anatta, right? All phenomena, dhammas, are without self. Here, dhamma means not teaching, right? Phenomena. All phenomena are without self. When one sees this nature with the inside wisdom means vipassana, right? One weary of suffering, one will discuss about suffering. Suffering is nothing but 5 aggregates. In the first sermon, the Buddha said that, in brief, clinging to 5 aggregates is suffering, right? Suffering. So actually, if you have this nature, if you understand this, all phenomena are without self. So you will have, if you have this vipassana knowledge, and you were weary or you were disgusted about suffering. So this is the path to purity. This is the path to purity. The purity means the path to nibbana. Purity means nibbana. So actually in this path we can learn that all phenomena, dhamma means phenomena, are without self. So when you understand this, and you were not, how to say, you were discuss about the clinging to 5 aggregate. So this will be the path to nibbana. So the point is, here we have to know the definition of the Dhamma. Dhamma means phenomena. It can be mental, it can be physical, right? Mental and physical phenomena is Dhamma. Dhamma in original sense. Dhamma means, actually the commentator, the commentary of the first Abhidhamma text mentioned that the Dhamma means the phenomena that bear their own intrinsic natures. The phenomena that bear their own intrinsic natures. Actually, please listen carefully. It's very, very subtle point of the Abhidhamma text. So if you understand today's teachings, you understand Abhidhamma. So otherwise stay confused. Very subtle point, right? Also, I want to link Abhidhamma and Sutta Piṭaka, right? So it's a very important one. Today I might exceed, usual time, because I will reserve 15 minutes for question and answer, right? Actually, one of the students requests me to do so. So that our actual time is 1.5 hours, right? 1.5 hours. And for today onward, so I will reserve for 15 minutes. So that means altogether 1 hour and 45 minutes. I hope for those who don't want to listen Q&A session, so you can leave, right? So normally our teaching hour is 1.5 hours, right? So another 15 minutes wait for question and answer. According to the commentary of the first Abhidhamma text, the Dhamma means the phenomena that bear their own intrinsic natures. So that is the definition of the Dhamma. Phenomena, right? So that is ne satta ne jiva sabhava. Very important Pali line. Ne satta. Satta means being. or individual. Jiva means soul, what we call soul or self, whatever name you use. So that implies that a solid permanent entity that exists forever without changing. So that is called jiva, right? Naisata, nejiva, sabhava. Intrinsic natures which has neither any being or soul, just nature. There's no being, there's no soul or self. That is called Dhamma. In summary, so we can understand that it is the Dhamma means intrinsic natures, intrinsic phenomena, just nature, right? So I will explain details. So for those who want to know the actual definition, you can go to the expositor, page number 50. So intrinsic natures, just like that, solidity. So this one, the book had the nature of solidity. Therefore, I can hold it, right? I can hold it. Solid, very solid, right? Solidity. The book has intrinsic nature of solidity. And also cohesion. Cohesion. That is a water, right? That's water. Water has the nature of cohesion. And also motion. Motion. My hands are moving, right? My hands are moving. That's motion, the nature of motion. There's no Venerable Cakkapala, right? There's no name, no individual, no beings. So just intrinsic natures. And also the heat, tejo. Actually, now we switch on aircon, right? It's cold. The cold also the nature of tejo. The heat also the nature of tejo, right? Actually, I forgot to use the word temperature. Actually, it's better to use temperature, not heat. Actually, is a heat also tejo, and cold also tejo, right? So they are actually solidity, cohesion, and temperature, and motion. These are, four great elements that every material phenomena stem from, right? Come from. So these four material phenomena are very important. So every object, my body, the table, the buildings, everything has these four intrinsic natures, right? Intrinsic natures. And also the awareness of an object, Citta. Citta, the intrinsic nature of Citta is the awareness of the object. When I see something, I am aware. When I hear something, my mind aware. So its nature is awareness of the object, right? And also experiencing an object, that is feeling. So when you encounter good things, you will experience the good things, feeling. So there are intrinsic nature. So that is called Dhamma. There's no being, there's no I, there's no you. So I and you are just concept or just imagination in our mind. There's no individual, just intrinsic natures, right? Just the Dhamma. To reject the theory of soul theory, the Buddha used his teaching as a Dhamma. As you know, the Buddha used his teaching as a Dhamma Vinaya, right? So Vinaya is Vinaya Piṭaka. The Dhamma is all his teachings. So the Buddha intentionally used this one. That's very important. The choice of language, the choice of terms is very important for the Buddha. If the Buddha use other terms, it may lead to misunderstanding. So the Buddha used the word Nibbana. The Buddha didn't use Moksha or Moksha. Because the Buddha intentionally used the word Nibbana to distinguish his teachings, his philosophy from other religious teachers. So that is very important. So the Buddha used his teachings as a Dhamma. The reason is he went to reject the theory of soul. He went to distinguish his teaching from the teaching of Hinduism, the teaching of Jainism. That's very important. That the Buddha intentionally used the Dhamma, right? His teaching. So here, soul. What is soul? Actually, in Pali, it is called Atta. Atta. Atta is translated as soul or self, right? Soul or self. Sometimes it is used as a Saccā deity. Saccā deity means Kaya means is solid entity. Kaya means not your body. It's solid entity. Sami together with. So it's solid entity that exists permanently. Actually, you may, I think you know that apart from Buddhism, apart from Buddhists, the people from other religions, one way or another, they believe the idea of soul, whatever they call it, is solely entity that exists forever. So that wrong view is called Saccā deity. For those who become Sotapanna, he eradicates Saccā deity, wrong view about the soul or self. Because he himself realized and he himself understands that the mind, mental factor, material phenomena, he himself understands that everything arises and disappears. Arises, disappears. He himself understands in his mind through his own experience. For that reason, for Sotapanna, he doesn't have any wrong view about soul or about self, right? Even Taoism, right? They believe, right? Soul. Christian, Islam, anyone, even Jainism, they believe soul, right? It's solely entity that exists forever. It will move from life to one life to another. For Hinduism, it's quite clear that so the soul never died, right? You do good deed, so your soul will be purified and move to another life. So that soul doesn't die. And when you when your soul is totally purified, so that soul will reunite with the super soul, a great soul, right? Actually, therefore, apart from Buddhism, any religions, they believe the idea of soul. Actually, when you want to extinguish Buddhism from other religions, Buddhism reject the idea of soul. Other religions accept it in one way or another. So that is different between Buddhism and other religions. But in surface level, you cannot distinguish. But when you are meditating seriously, you will understand a little bit. Mind arises, at once disappears. Scientists, they know that. They use very powerful microscope, right? They look at the body. The cells in our body arises and disappear, right? And new cells come in and they die, and new cells replace. Impermanent, right? everything changing. But when you meditate, and when you have a very powerful concentration, then you can analyze your mind and also your body. But at the end, you will understand that everything come and go, arises, disappear, arises, disappear. There's no point to attach. So when you really understand the nature of mind and material phenomena, based on the theory of non-self, right? Non-self, anatta, then you become Sotapanna, right? Sotapanna are the one who realize the truth, who understand the mind and matter in their true natures. We call it in Pali, Yatha Buddha Jnana Darsana. So they see everything in their true natures. Actually, the Buddha is not inventing them. They are happening in their true natures, in their intrinsic nature. Therefore, it is called Dhamma. The Buddha didn't create the Dhamma, but it exists all the time. The mind exists all the time, but it arises, disappears. There is no solid entity that exists all the time, right? So now, when we learn about Ahituka Citta, we will know that Chakku Vijnana, right? The eye consciousness. So Abhidhamma used the word consciousness, and the Buddha also used the word consciousness in many suttas. But in one time, so one of the monks called Sati, and he is preaching his view, he is explaining his view that it is the same consciousness that go one after another, one life after another. The same consciousness that experience, that speak, and that feel wherever we have done. And many monks hear his idea and they said that, so you are holding a wrong view. The Buddha is not preaching like this. You are accusing the Buddha. And they couldn't debate with him. So therefore, they report to the Buddha. And the Buddha summoned Bhikkhu Sadi to come. And the Buddha said that you use the word vijnana, consciousness. The word vijnana. What do you mean by that? And Bhikkhu Sadi said that it is this vijnana, this consciousness that speak, that feel, and that experience. Actually, he used the word vijnana, not the word atta, not the word jiva. But the idea is, he believed that very vijnana is moving one life after another. That is the idea of soul, right? Whatever language you use, whatever name you use, if you are thinking that a solid entity that exists permanently, that is wrong view. That is called atta. That is called Saccā deity, Saccā, right? So whatever name you use, so as long as you are thinking that a solid entity that exists in your body or outside of the body, whatever you think, whatever you give the name, the same. That is called soul theory. The Buddha purposely used the word Dhamma to reject the theory of soul. Everything, our body, our buildings, the trees, the country, everything is composed of mind and matter. Mind and matter. So there's no I, there's no Singapore, there's no Mangala Vihara like this, right? Just mind and matter. So therefore, Abhidhamma trying to analyze mind and matter. So therefore, commentary give the name Nama Rupa Paricheda. Nama Rupa, mind and matter. Paricheda, trying to analyze the teachings that analyze mind and matter, right? So if you can analyze mind and matter with your own wisdom, vipassana, right? Inside wisdom, then you become Sotapanna. Of course, learning Abhidhamma will not become Sotapanna. So you have to practice, right? Of course. Abhidhamma will give you the map, right? The map. So you have to use that map and you have to go by yourself, right? The Buddhas are just show the way, right? You have to go by yourself. Abhidhamma is just like a map, right? So therefore, and then Rupa getting you mapping the mind, right? Mapping the mind. So the Abhidhamma is just a map, right? So we have to use it to go to Nibbana, right? The word Dhamma and Dhatu are interchangeably used in Suttas. Dhatu means element. Actually, it's very good point, this one. So Dhatu means element. So actually, when you analyze your body, a lot of element, right? So you can analyze the water, a lot of element. So actually, therefore, science can give very precise terms, right? To understand about the nature of everything. So they give a very precise terms and names. Even the water, they give different name, right? They give, what is it? H2O, like this. So there are many elements in the water, many elements in our body, right? That is the nature, right? Intrinsic natures in the body, in the water. The Buddha clearly said that everything, sentient beings, of the buildings, of the trees, that consists of 4 great elements: solidity, cohesion, temperature, and what is it? Motion. Thank you. Motion, like this. So consists of those 4 great elements. So we can find the water in the air. Do you believe? Now you believe. Because you're using aircon, right? Surprising, right? The Buddha already told you. In the air, 4 great elements, right? In the water, 4 great elements. In the water, you can find air as well. The heat, temperature as well, right? And motion as well, like this. So, the element, the Dhamma and Dhatu are interchangeably used by the Buddha, right? By the Buddha. That's very important. Dhatu. Nibbana Dhatu. Nibbana Dhatu. Nibbana is used as a Dhatu element. Nibbana doesn't have any soul or any self. Nibbana, Dhamma the same, right? So therefore, the word Dhamma and Dhatu are used interchangeably in the Suttas, right? So therefore, commentary also define the word Dhatu similar to the word Dhamma. Then you can see commentary on Itiotaka, Sutta number 44. Sutta number 44. Let's talk about Nibbana. So there are 4 suttas that talk about Nibbana. So very difficult to understand in those suttas. But the word Dhatu is used there, right? So even Nibbana, there's no such a thing called soul. Because in Hinduism, they believe that that we have material life. They call it material life, right? We are here and enjoy material life. And they also have spiritual life. So when they do meditations, when they do good deed, then they can reunite with the super soul, great soul, right? And they live spiritual life. So according to their idea, after somebody became saint, right? In their religion, and they still have soul. And Nibbana, even Arahant died. There's nothing left. There's no even soul. There's no soul, right? So therefore, the Buddha used the word Nibbana Dhatu. So what I want to say is, everything has their own nature, right? The nature, mental and material. That is called Dhamma, right? So therefore, Abhidhamma means the further definition of those intrinsic phenomena, those intrinsic natures, right? So therefore, Abhidhamma will analyze mind and matter, right? Mind and matter. Two truths in Abhidhamma. According to Abhidhamma philosophy, so there are two types of truth. Sometimes used as a realities. The same, right? The truth or the reality the same, right? Number one, the conventional truth, sammuti Saccā. Conventional truth, sammuti Saccā. I will explain it in detail. It is also used as a paññatti. Paññatti, I will translate as a concept or imagination. Something which is known among the people. Singapore, the name Singapore is known among the people here and all over the world, right? Singapore. Burmese doesn't call Singapore. They call Singapore. China, they call Singapore, like this, right? Different names. Just given the name, right? So that is called conventional truth, right? Nowadays, it is known as Singapore. Maybe later it may change, right? So this conventional truth doesn't exist. It is not reality, just given the name, accepted by the people. So therefore, conventional truth is called Ohara. Ohara means names and terms. Sammuti Saccā, paññatti, or Ohara, they are the same, right? So I will explain one by one. So easy way is the names and concept in your mind. So we have our name, right? We have imagination or concept in our mind. So when I see somebody, I have concept about that person. When I think about Mangala Vihara, I have concept or imagination in my mind, which is different from others, right? So these are called paññatti, sammuti Saccā. So they doesn't exist actually. Another one is called the ultimate truth. Ultimate truth. Sometimes we use absolute truth. Sometimes absolute reality. Ultimate reality. The same, right? The same. So just paramattha Saccā. So we have two truths in Abhidhamma. But in Sutta Piṭaka, we have four noble truths, right? Four noble truths. So we'll explain one by one. Conventional truth. Attahi, အတ္တနောနာထောကောဟိနာထောပရောစီယ Is there anyone who knows these lines? Have you ever heard of these lines? If you haven't heard of these lines, trying to memorize, trying to learn by heart. Very famous one in Dhammapada. YMBA students, you should know this one. Dhammapada, verse number 160. Actually, this is only half of the verse poems. Oneself indeed is one's own refuge. Here, the word atta. The Buddha used the word atta, right? How can others be a refuge to one? So if we translate, I myself indeed is my own refuge. Here, this is a conventional truth. People are using the word atta, indicating, many people may indicate that atta, myself, self, right? The idea or concept in our mind, even Buddhist, for those who haven't become Sotapanna, you still have that concept. I. Huh? When I was very young, when you are very young, you have concept I. When you become older, you still have that idea, that concept I, right? I concept. That is called conventional truth. Conventionally, it is truth, but it doesn't exist. So therefore, we always said that there's no I, there's no you, just mind and matter, right? Just mind and material phenomena. But here, the Buddha used the word atta. Oneself indeed is one's own refuge. The Buddha rejects the ideal atta, the ideal self, the ideal soul in his teachings, right? But he used the word atta. He used the word atta. So in this verse, for the sake of convenience, very important line. For the sake of convenience, to convey his teachings to the people. Actually, he doesn't believe the ideal atta. The word atta here means self. Normally, people in India, they believe that is self, right? Mindset, yourself, right? Normally, when you're thinking about ourselves, we have wrong thinking that myself, when I was young, myself, when I grow old, myself, the same, right? Actually, we have a wrong view. As long as you do not become Sotapanna, you still have Saccā deity, right? Saccā deity, a solid entity that exists forever. He just used the names and the terms accepted by the people as the truth. Actually, to explain his teachings, the Buddha had to use names and terms prevailing at the time. Right? Therefore, the Buddha trying to avoid the word jiva. Jiva is very, very controversial word. Jiva means soul or self. The Buddha trying to avoid those controversial terms. If he used those terms, it will lead to misunderstanding. So therefore, Abhidhamma teaches, Abhidhamma trying to avoid those controversial words. He used the word Citta, he used the word Cittasika intentionally, because he want to define there is no being or no soul, just mind and matter. So therefore, Abhidhamma trying to define the terms as well. Not only the teaching, trying to define the terms as well, right? So later on you will understand that. Even though in this verse, in Dhammapara, the Buddha used the word atta, but he doesn't believe the idea of atta, the idea of self, right? The idea of soul. So therefore, here the word atta means it is truth, but not ultimate truth. It is conventional truth only, right? I hope you understand. You got it? Okay. Another one, it is from Mahaparinibbana Sutta. Tasmatihananda atta dipa viharata atta sarana aninya sarana dhamma dipa, right? Therefore, Ananda, be islands unto yourself. Here, yourself. The same atta, but according to context, we have to translate yourself or myself, right? Therefore, Ananda, be islands unto yourself, refuge unto yourself, seeking no external refuge, with the Dhamma as your island. Atta dipa, Dhamma dipa. Here, atta, the word atta, it's not indicating the idea of soul. So the Buddha, even though the term indicate, what the Buddha indicates is different. He just used for convenience sake. Because people are talking using the word atta. Just to convey his teaching, he used them. Actually, it's not ultimate truth, right? Ultimate truth. Because the reason is in previous one, attahi atanonato koinato prosiya. Because I got this idea to quote this one, because one of the scholars, a famous scholar from England, and he said that the Buddha accept the idea of soul, idea of self, not soul, idea of self in some of his discourses. He said that, quoting these lines. Because he doesn't understand it is just conventional truth. The Buddha is not accepting as the ultimate realities. The Buddha is not accepting as a Dhamma intrinsic nature, right? Intrinsic nature. And he's a very famous scholar from England. He indicates this one, quoting this one. And he used that the Buddha accept idea of self. He doesn't understand about conventional truth and also ultimate realities. So therefore, we need to understand Dhamma. Also, it is also good to understand Abhidhamma as well, right? So in this way, you understand Dhamma much better. So if you do not understand, understand, if you see the word atta, so you will have misunderstanding. But here, as you know, the Buddha was the last day of the Buddha, right? The last day of the Buddha, the final days of the Buddha. So by that time, the Buddha was staying in one of the village nearby Vesali. So at the time, the Buddha was seriously ill, even fainted. Do not remember anything. Then for some time, he recovered from that illness. And Venerable Ananda said that, so the Buddha, when you were seriously ill, I was so worried that I do not know what to do. And I also have a strong belief that the Buddha will not leave the Saccā without saying anything. He said that. He has very strong belief or faith that the Buddha will not die without saying anything. By that time, the Buddha said that Ananda, I have preached the Dhamma and Vinaya. The Sangha, what the Sangha is expecting from me. He have already preached the Dhamma and Vinaya, right? So when I die, the Dhamma and Vinayas will be your teachers. I'm getting old. And he said this one. Therefore, Ananda, be islands unto yourself, refuge unto yourself, seeking no external refuge, with the Dhamma as your island. Here, the Dhamma means 4 foundations of mindfulness. So you can read the story and you can read the teachings in Mahaparinibbana Sutta, Tika Nikaya, Sutta number 60, and session 2, paragraph number 26. So you can read go there and read yourself, right? A very beautiful suttas. So if you learn Mahaparinibbana Sutta, so you will know the actual and historical Buddha. You will meet actual and historical Buddha, right? So therefore, it is very famous among the people, right? Mahaparinibbana Sutta. Here, what I want to point out is, here also the Buddha used the word atta. So atta means the Buddha used it conventionally because it is accepted by the time, accepted by the people at the time as a language, right? He used it as a, just to convey his teachings. Actually, he's not believing soul or self, just conventional truth. It is also truth, but not ultimate reality. It doesn't exist, right? Any question? Then a little bit going. The conventional truth is the truth accepted by common consensus by the people. Singapore is accepted name, right? Your name is accepted in your family members or in your surroundings. Mangala Vihara is accepted as a temple, right? Later, if change to other things, this Mangala Vihara will not have name, right? So changing all the time, doesn't exist, right? Doesn't exist. It can be names or terms of the concept or the imagination that form in the mind. So when you hear something, concept in your mind, when you hear elephant, I say elephant, right? The point is ultimate reality. The name elephant, just concept. But in your mind, you have concept. Elephant, you hear the animal, right? Very big animal. That's concept. That doesn't exist reality. Elephant also composed of mind and matter. Only mind and material phenomena. That is ultimate reality. The name, concept in your mind, right? These are conventional truth. In the mind, based on sensory impulse from external environments, it is the product of mental construction. So our mind construct concept, imagination, right? Idea. All these are concept. All these are sammuti Saccā. So it is subject to change from the time, right? And previously, Singapore is named as, what is it? Thammasat, right? Singapore is named as Thammasat. Myanmar is named as Burma, right? Doesn't exist. Just imagination, name, just name, right? Any question? Okay, that's cool. I think today, 4 o'clock, we cannot go to ultimate truth. I think for 50 minutes, Q&A, question and answer. Anything about Abhidhamma? Okay.
I would like to ask, how easy is it for lay people, laity to have this idea of Dhamma? Is it convenient for normal people, laity to practice, or for the, what do you call it, the Saccā?
Very good question. Is it a good idea to learn Abhidhamma as a normal people? I think it's of course, we are learning about mind, right? You can use the knowledge of your mind in daily life, as well as when you are practicing meditations, right? To attain Nibbana. So you can use this knowledge in your daily life, therefore, Abhidhamma in daily life. Of course, for the time being, today we are talking about the conventional truth and also ultimate truth. These are very hard and very subtle one to understand. So therefore, I said that today a little bit boring. So I think later, most of them will be related to your daily life, right? Not only for meditation. Mostly this class designed for applying Abhidhamma in our daily life, right? I think we should learn because it is the knowledge about mind and also material phenomena. Question?
So actually I should not comment on practitioner. There are two groups of friends. One practitioner, they only they always emphasize on study the Sutta Abhidhamma, but they don't meditate, they don't think of the practice. Another group, they don't think about the Sutta, they just meditate and able to see the phenomenon of the mind and body. Your comment.
Okay, very good. Actually, there are two types of people. One type, just learning Suttas and Abhidhamma, not practicing at all, just for the knowledge, right? I think it's also no good. People who are practicing meditation, they should know about the Suttas and Abhidhamma as well. But of course, prior knowledge about the Dhamma and Suttas, you can also attain, some awakening. Of course, you can get it. But as you know, there is only one person who doesn't learn the Dhamma and attain enlightenment. Who? Only the Buddha. The Buddha, right? In arupa, in material realm, there is no material form, no matter, no body, just mind, right? The arupa realm, nobody becomes Sotapanna in arupa realm. The reason is no body, no ear, right? No ear. Because the ear, you need to listen. Actually, learning me, listening the Dhamma as well, right? Listening the Dhamma as well. So in arupa realm, no one can become Sotapanna. But of course, for Sotapanna, after they became Sotapanna, they can get rebirth in arupa realm. It's another story. Because in arupa realm, you can become Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahant. Because after you become Sotapanna, you can practice, right? You can practice by yourself. So the point is, without listening Dhamma, you cannot become Sotapanna. So one of the main qualities of the Sotapanna, for those who want to become Sotapanna, also listening the Dhamma. In other words, learning, right? Learning. And so actually learning can be many ways, right? Some people listen the Dhamma, it's also learning. Some people come and attend the Dhamma classes, also learning, right? So different type of learning. So if you think that we don't need to learn Abhidhamma, we don't need to learn Sutta, just practice, it's also wrong, right? It's also wrong. One way or another you have to learn, right? And there are also very extremes about the Abhidhamma. Many of the Theravada monks, the orthodox Theravada monks, they say that to attain Nibbana, before you practice meditation, you need to learn Abhidhamma. Without Abhidhamma, you cannot attain Sotapanna, Sakadagami, like this, right? Like this. It's also another extremes. Abhidhamma, we have learned that Abhidhamma is nothing but an analysis of mind and material phenomena. Nama Rupa, right? Nama Rupa. But just learning Abhidhamma is just knowing, right? We call it intellectual understanding, not practical understanding. But intellectual understanding also very important. So through intellectual understanding, then you become practical understanding, right? It's very important. So we need to. It is important not to go to extremes. When we don't need to learn Abhidhamma, nonsense, right? Ajahn Brahm said that, nonsense. These are two extremes. Actually, Abhidhamma is very good to understand, to know about the Dhamma, right? Because it's analyzed mind and matter. Also, so when we learn about samadhi, I think when we, next week, I don't know whether we reach there or not. When we learn about the first session, I will explain, right? The importance of intellectual understanding and also the practical understanding, right? Actual understanding. So I think it is important not to go extremes. Some people think that we don't need to learn Abhidhamma. Some people say that we must learn Abhidhamma. Without Abhidhamma, you cannot attain separate enlightenment like this. Two extremes, right? So Abhidhamma, if we understand that Abhidhamma means analytical knowledge about mind and matter, very important, right? Very important, of course. Especially for the teachers, very important to understand about Abhidhamma. I think time is up. So thank you for the questions. And from today onward, so we will spend 1.5 hours teaching, right? And during the teachings, you can also ask questions. Then after teachings, there will be 10 or 15 minutes for question and answer, right? And also you can send the questions through the email as well. So just like today, I explained, right? A very good way to understand Abhidhamma. Teacher Lily, who can chant? Who can chant? It's okay. I want to chant myself. Oh, sorry. I forgot to put.
Let's palms together.
Manu Jesu Saccā Muni Bhagavata Tejo Paragato Pala Viriya Samangi Dan Sukha Dan Saranatamu Beni Raga Viraga Mani Jamasoka Dhammamasaṅgaha Dhamma Patikula Madhurani Mambagunam Suvipata Dhamma Mimamsa Saranatamu Bemi Yata Jadina Mahapalamau Chatusu Susisu Buddhisa Yugesu Ataja Bhogata Dhammadasate Saṅgha Mimamsa Saranatamu Bemi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Dr.
Okay.
For those who haven't marked your attendance, please mark your attendance before you leave. Thank you.